ADP data is important because ADP data tells you what you can get away with, what you can manipulate on draft day. Far too many people think knowing ADP data or drafting around average draft position data means that you're drafting off the suggested rank or you're following suit with everybody else. No. Reaching on a player is certainly something you do in congruent fashion. Sideline the whole concept of auto drafting, because that's not what we're talking about. That's auto drafting. Drafting off ADP's auto drafting. We're talking about manipulating it. We're talking about knowing it like the back of your hand. We're talking about reaching at the perfect time, the most optimum time, but to make sure you understand what and where and how your draft's going to go down before it even goes down. We're breaking it down. ADP risers and fallers. We're going to be drafting tonight on Underdog, promo code Smitty. So hit this link that's pinned in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video. Code Smitty gets it done as well if you want to enter the code manually. But just hit the link. It'll enter the code for you. 50% match on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000 in bonus credit. So do it live. Do it live. We're jumping straight into a Underdog draft here in just a few minutes. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. The Fantasy Football Show. The show that goes live almost every single midnight Eastern. The show that you've come to know and love as your news source at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
We're live whenever news breaks. We're live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. We're live at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday, rain or shine. And we do that because the reason I do that because is we have tons of things to do. News, 8 p.m., drafting, midnight, breaking news shows. I go live when big news breaks. That needs its own known video. We are literally live 3-4 times a day during the busy part, and the busy part starts now. August 1, we're a little early because it seems like everybody's filing in a little early. Things are going to start ramping up. We're going to have 500 people in the stream at any one moment. We're going to have 1,000 people in the stream at any one moment. I hope today is the beginning of just another stepping stone of more and more people coming in to draft, to talk, to get into the 2026 fantasy football mix. And right now, let's go over to the ADP board. And I'm going to show you the ADP board, which is updated as of midnight last night. So it's all updated today. These are the risers and fallers. And I'm going to write on the marker board here as we go my favorite ADP players and some of the ones that I don't love at all. And we'll start off from the top. This is a very important show because this means that we love these values or we hate these values, or at least I do. And steals and sleepers can happen anywhere. I've been doing this 25 years. I don't need someone to tell me how to define a sleeper. Because if I say someone's sleeping on Achane in round 2, people go, you can't call Achane. I certainly can, and I just did, and I will continue to. You know how I define it? Second round sleeper. Descriptive word can do a lot. It can go a long way when you're trying to describe something. I've been calling players sleepers on the board, all over the board. First round sleeper, second round sleeper, mid-range sleeper, deep sleeper, 10th round sleeper, 8th round sleeper. How I define it is my business. And when I'm sitting here looking at an ADP board and I see a man like Genty who deserves to be potentially up in here, this is probably the most slept on player, I would say, looking at this draft right here. I will say JSN, though, can be slept on a little bit at the tune of an 8-9 overall pick, and that's a fantastic value. But really, you start getting into the second round, ADP risers, fallers, won't suggest that Genty's rising or falling, so we're not going to write them down, but just to let you know that I start looking at value here in Hampton and Genty and say, at the end of the year, they might be right where McCaffrey is. Hindsight, you'll think I could have drafted them at 5 or 6 overall and they would have earned their keep, and this is double that number. So Hampton, Genty, we start seeing value. Walker, there's injury risk. I think this is priced appropriately, but he certainly could deliver as well. Achane is a first round player. He is somebody that's falling. I love his ADP. The ADP is looking fantastic. I'm going to say that this is my first absolute steal on ADP data with the falling ADP of 2.5. 2.5, this man was going at 1.8, 1.9, 1.10, and now we're stealing him away as a second drafted player that's breaching the middle of round 2. Breaching the middle of round 2. That is what you call a sleeper. Yeah, Achane, a sleeper. Damn straight. The guy we said was going to be a top 5 running back. The guy that rose to top 5 running back heights and now is somehow lingering in the 2.5 to 2.8 range. This is one of the best picks in fantasy. So ADP steals is what we'll call this. So we'll go to the board real quick and say ADP steals. We'll put this, and then we'll put ADP busts, I would call it. Or voids, because they're not necessarily busts. Like, again, I don't hate Devontae Smith. There's a place where I draft him. He's not a bust by any means, but he's an avoid at his ADP. So ADP steals, ADP avoids. Achane, let's go ahead and write 2.5, and then we can put their graphics on, which will be a lot more attractive looking and easier to consolidate space. So let me just grab his mug and throw it on here. Achane, you were the first ADP steal, young man. Congratulations, everybody. Everybody get Achane in 2026.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
All right, back to the ADP board, and let's keep going. We just saw a guy that I think is a value as well, even though he was such a better value. AJB. AJB, and I guess we could go in the same territory. We could just, throw around the ADP avoids, and let's go back up. Let's just stay together. McCaffrey, CMC, at 1.6 CMC. Could he deliver on it? I suppose, but I don't think there's a real shot in hell this time around. I know your boy didn't want to draft Christian McCaffrey last year at cost, and he absolutely stayed healthy. And good on him, and standing ovation for Christian McCaffrey. And even for the doctors involved in that situation, man. And you could say, hey, he's going to Germany again, Smitty. It's going to happen again. I'm not buying this. I'm not. There's no way. There's a couple different reasons. Shanahan's even said they're going to dial him back. McCaffrey is either going to get injured because they don't dial him back, or he's going to get dialed back. We got 5 gifted memberships by Wheel Snipe Selly. Wheel Snipe, thank you very much for dropping the 5 gifted memberships. You straight up monster. So CMC 1.6 total avoid. 1 point is at 9 JJ. That is another complete avoid for me right now. At that cost of entry, this could change, okay? If he was to fall, but right now 1.10 for JJ. We talked a lot about it. We have a whole live stream on this. Not feeling good about the fact that this damn team, this damn coaching staff is refusing to give Kyler Murray all the work and prepare him properly. So he's a complete concern right here at this stage in the game. AJB is a fantastic 2.7 AJB. Gotta love that. 2.5 was Achane. Okay, so let me go back here and grab these images and throw them on here. So AJB is going to be tossed on here. Just an easy click in 2026 when you're just looking for a player that could be top 5 at the position of wide receiver. He's sitting here. Why not take him? Why not take the secure AJB, who's likely to have somewhere along the lines of like 12 to 15 touchdowns this year at 2.7. It's just a really, really good selection. Back to the ADP board, the other concerning players I would say in this territory, honestly, not a lot in round 2 at all. Barkley's got some concern, but there's enough upside. They're going to run the ball a lot that I wouldn't call him a total avoid, but I would say he's a cautionary tale here. So Barkley, JJ, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry is, I think he's okay there. Derrick Henry probably is an injury risk, but he's not going as high as Christian McCaffrey. He's not going quite as high as Barkley. I think if Henry were to climb to like 11 or 12 or 13, I might have him on the be careful board. So Bowers is unbelievable. Even though Bowers is 2.9, Bowers is kind of like been all over the map. He was at the 2-3 turn, then he climbed up to the middle of round 2. Now he's kind of fallen a couple spots back down. This value, this is an ADP steal. 2.9 is just an absolute smash. I think one of the better picks, honestly, in fantasy football 2026, because he'll play at this like top 6, top 5 overall level, given the position that he plays and the advantage you get. Rice is climbing. I still like it. Devontae Smith is one of the worst picks at 3.2, and that's going to change. He's going to climb into the 24, 25 at least by tonight or tomorrow. And he keeps going higher and higher, and I keep seeing him get taken at 23, 22, and 24. So that's getting bad. McBride's really good value at 3.4. Go back to the board here and just say McBride at 3.4. I like that value quite a bit. He was going in the 10, 11, 12 overall range walking into January projecting data, because people are like, yeah, if you want McBride, he had the best season ever. For a tight end, you got to pay first round value. Are we ready to do that? And then all of a sudden the Cardinal negativity, and all of a sudden before you know it, now he's 3.4. That's why he still remains on, I believe it's the Mars board, because the values will league winning, even if there's a little dip or concern about quarterback shift or whatever. We're talking about 3.4. We're talking about your third drafted player now. Just what a value he is, McBride in 2026. This is just a great, great value. McBride, Olave, Flowers. Flowers is a little concerning. Hall is a little high. I'm going to say avoid Hall at 3.3. I don't think he's a bust candidate, but let's get into a best ball draft. Pull up the app, Underdog promo code Smitty. I kind of want to get into a different one. I'm going to click on, we haven't done, there's weeklies, there's Underdog promo code Smitty. Hit that button or that link and sign up. There's weeklies, there's Best Ball Mania, there's a Fast Puppy, there's the Badge Bros one that you could also join, but those are 16 drafts, 6 players and 6 drafters in each draft, I think. And then I think this is tough. Well, I love weeklies. Weeklies are fun. Weeklies are a little bit different, but I think maybe we'll do. Let me think for a second. When we'll jump in one. Whether we're gonna do a weeklies or we're gonna do a Best Ball Mania. I do have to get some Best Ball Manias in, so I'm just thinking about whether we do it. So hang tight. We'll jump on one in a second. McBride, great value, fantastic value. And then give people a chance to sign up. So hit that link around now and sign up. Breece Hall, I don't like that 3.3 value. Zay Flowers at 3.6. 3.6 is too high for Flowers. I like him, but you're buying him at his absolute ceiling. And you also have a changing offense, and we've seen how that goes with Lamar. We have to wait and see. 3.8 for Higgins is a little too high. I like Higgins. I think Higgins could be a good value, but that's way too high. And love Lab McConkey at 3.10. 3.10 is Laddie Boy. We've got, ETN at 3.12 is pretty good too. So let's throw those guys on screen here and get these guys. So 3.10 is Lad McConkey. Love that value. That's one of the best values, I think, in the 3-4 area. He's going to be a top 10 wide receiver, I believe. I think he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver. I think he could be even better than that, but I think the expectation that he could be top 10 is not too high at all. I think even if he falls flat a little bit, you're still getting just about what you pay for. If he's top 8 to 10, you're almost getting a little more value, a little more bang for the buck. ETN's fantastic. No, I won't call him H-N. His name is ETN. We call him ETN. The 3 letters. You can't take that nickname back, by the way. So A.J. Brown, 2.7. Bowers, 2.9. McBride, these are some really good values. And if we go back to the ADP board and we look at, let's see here, Hall, Smith, Rice. Rice is climbing. I think it's still okay. I don't know that it's like one of the steals, right? There's still some risk and he's climbing. I won't like him when he climbs up. Like, let's say Rice went at 2.4. It'd be harder to draft him So ADP really does matter, even though we love a player. That's the same thing with Devontae Smith. Like, I like Devontae Smith. And if he was going at 4.3, or Ted McMillan is, remember, Ted McMillan was going around this early third round at one point. Let's get into let's try the pug, $12 pug, or jump into any draft you want to. And it doesn't matter. Just get into something and we'll draft together. And you can apply your process as I apply mine together, side by side. And let's hope I get a decent draft selection. I think on this particular one, it said like 2 left or whatever, and it loaded pretty quickly. So if you didn't get 11, of course I got 11. If you didn't get into mine, just keep drafting with us alongside. So I'm going to say Igbuka at 3.9. He's climbing. I still like it, but is it a screaming steal? 3.11 would be Josh Allen. I like that. 3.11. That is league winning right there. 3.11. That's crazy value. Let's go back to the board real quickly and drag Josh Allen on screen. 3.11 is league winning. I love Drake May. Drake May's because I love Drake May so much, that's the only reason why sometimes I might still go like ETN if he's there, etc. Just because we know what we're probably going to get in Drake May later, and so it's still trying to consume talent at a non-quarterback position. Mike Evans at 4.10 is phenomenal. I don't like Scat at 4.7 anymore. Too much risk. Neighbors at 4.2 is crazy. So let's throw, we have Neighbors at 4.2. Let me grab Neighbors as graphic. We're almost on the clock here. Neighbors at 4.2. Evans at what do we say? 4.10. Evans is great value at 4.10. He deserved, like, I really would take Evans, don't tell anybody, but I would take him at like 3.4. Like these are some of the best values in fantasy. Just straight up 4.7 scat. I'll put that over here. 4.7 scat. All right, we're on the clock here. Let's switch over to the screen on the clock. We keep taking Genty here. I like Hampton, but let's maybe go Hampton AJB and mix it up a little bit. Unless the sniper here, I don't know who's drafting here. If it's one of you guys. Don't think so. It looks like an unknown name to me. So we'll definitely probably be looking at AJB, I imagine. Caller, you are live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Farouk in Indianapolis.
What's up, my boy?
Well, tell me if I'm crazy. I did something in a draft.
Real quickly, let me just make this pick real quick. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I think we're going to go with AJB here. So we have a lot of Genty AJB. Tonight we're going to brute force draft, or at least this week, I'll brute force draft Hampton AJB instead of Genty AJB over and over. All right, what did you do? And as everybody looks at the board here, these are the good and bad values on ADP. As he's talking, you guys can take a gander at this. Go ahead, my man.
Okay, so in the first round I took Bijan. Second round I took Bowers.
Okay.
Third round I took McBride.
Okay, you probably hear me say that I don't like the double quarterback or double tight end drafting at all. It's just not. It's not something that usually helps you. I know you can play a flex, but it's
yeah. I thought he could play the flex, or I could at least get the highest tight end of the week.
I know, but
almost.
I just don't.
And because of that, it kind of pushed all the tight ends up.
I know, but it just makes you chase all the other.
I was able to get value.
It just makes you chase all the other positions the whole draft.
Well, I got Neighbors in the fourth. I took your advice on that.
That's great value. Okay, so you got Bijan, McBride,
and Neighbors.
Bowers, Neighbors. Okay, who else do you have?
Yeah. And then quarterback, I got Herbert.
Okay.
Mike Evans in the fifth.
Nice.
So I mean, I was able to load up still throughout the draft. I took Tootin.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you did good, bro. You did good.
Yeah.
I will.
But it can work. I mean, and plus now I have a little difference in everyone else's draft.
It can. But what player did you pass on when, let's say, McBride was on the clock?
Well, all the players in the third round.
Yeah.
The Brees Halls, the Higgins, those typical guys. But since I already had Bijan, I didn't feel like
I think
lost
you
a
did
running
it
back or
well.
anything.
I think you did it well. I just know that
Yeah.
the thinking behind it doesn't always because here's the way you got to look at it. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I can just dominate tight end scoring. Well, Bowers is probably going to dominate that anyway. And the rare occasions where somebody can supplant him from your lineup, like McBride could, you're still taking now away your flex player, and then you're plugging in potentially a little bit lesser value flex play, and then it kind of all comes storming back that way. But I don't hate the way you did that. Like you did.
It only works if you have an early pick.
You did a very decent.
Bowers fell, and then I was still able to get McBride. But I went into the draft with that plan just to see how it would come out.
I would rather have Love. I would rather have,
Mm-hmm.
It depends. I'm not taking Higgins like Devontae Smith. Those don't count. First thing you do is throw out some bad names for a third round pick. Rice would be great.
And I have Love on a bunch of teams, so I thought I would try them.
I think you did good with it. To be honest. Yeah. You did a really good job recovering. Tootin's fantastic running back too with that build. I'll try and do it sometime soon. Maybe I'll be okay with the strategy this year. Let me try next time I get the 2 or 3 pick. I might try it and see as an experiment. Okay.
Yeah, because you know who else is to get. And I learned from you who else to get. So you're still going to get value throughout the draft, and you're going to just dominate the tight end. You still got a flex. Let's say something happens to Bowers. You still got McBride for a couple.
I know, but if something happened to Bowers, it's probably going to be harder for you to win. I got it. We'll try it. I normally don't like it, but I'll tell you what, I'll give it a try. Maybe I need to open my mind back to the best ball version of it, but nobody should be doing that type of draft in a non-best ball.
No, this is just like on 1 or 2 teams
and
just to see.
Neighbors here or Ladd. I think I'm going to go Neighbors here to swing for some of the upside. I got AJB already. I'm going to go. Let's see. I think this guy will take Ladd McConkey. If he doesn't, we'll be really, really lucky. But if not, there's still some other players on the board I absolutely love here. ETN's still a good value. So Ladd, ETN, Javante's not bad. He took Ladd. There you go. Garrett Wilson. I don't hate Garrett Wilson here. Mike Evans. I always take Mike Evans early when all else fails at this pick. And I'm not scared to do it. Loveland's pretty good too. I really believe in Mike Evans, and I'm kind of making my own bed, and I'm happy sleeping in it this year. If I've got to draft him early here I love this wide receiver room. AJB, Neighbors, Mike Evans, Hampton. Love it. All right. Anything else, my boy?
I had one more thing. What do you think about Alec Pierce? I'm in Indianapolis, so the Colts keep saying they're going to give him the easy throws along with the deep throws. What do you think his upside could be, Alec Pierce?
I'm not drafting him at all this year because he's coming back from that nasty injury that he waited too long to have surgery. He tried to not have surgery. They ended up having surgery.
Right.
Shane Steichen said today that his goal is to play week 1, and that's their goal as well. Like it wasn't super optimistic. That concerns the hell out of me. I want Josh Downs this year at cost way more than Alec Pierce.
Okay.
All right, my man. Appreciate you. If I change my mind on that, stay glued because I'll tell you if I do. All right, later, bro.
Okay, later.
All right. KJO, appreciate you with a $10 super chat. Love the show, Smitty. Did I cook or not with this draft? 12-team super flex, PPR, JD5 Dart, Chase Brown, Javante Ladd, Ibuka, Tootin, BTJ Hunter, Henry Brooks, Manungai, Coker, Concepcion. Yeah. That's super flex is a little different. So to get JD5 and Dart, you got to sacrifice some places. And honestly, you did a really, really good job trying to balance that out. You do need a couple things to land for this team to be, in my opinion, like the championship caliber team that it could be. You need to have like Javante play way more than, higher than his ADP, which he could. You need Ladd to explode. And then you need either Tootin or BTJ or Brooks to like step up. I think out of the combination of all that, you're going to get like some of those things to happen. If one doesn't happen, the other happens. Like as long as 3 of just 3 of Javonte Ladd, Igbuka, Tootin, BTJ, and Brooks and Manungai explode. Like just 3 of those explode out of all those. Then you have a team that in hindsight, people will look back and go, how did he draft that team? You know, how did he get that squad that looks so crazy in hindsight? Like, how did he do that? That's what you want, right? Hammer dropping a $20 late night graveyard stream super chat. I'll throw his message on screen. Hammer, appreciate you for doing that. Let me see if I can punch the hammer time before I'm on the clock here. Let's see if I can hit it real quickly. Hammer time. Hammer time. Appreciate you dropping that. And here we go on the clock. There's Hammer's message. Appreciate you, young man. He says, BTJ is there. I like that. I queued him just in case I time out. I think I'll pass on. I hate doing that here, but I'm going to go ahead and grab BTJ so he doesn't. I don't think he'll... I don't think he'll snag. And it's okay if he does because there's other quarterbacks that we love, you know, very much. But I didn't want to lose BTJ. I feel like BTJ was super vulnerable to get grabbed here. And the fact that he's taking his sweet time tells me that's who he wanted. He timed out. So he wanted BT. I think that was a good move. So let's see if he... Either that or he stepped away for some of the meatloaf. No, he's there. So we threw him off there with that pick. This is going to be Drake May. Very easy smash right there. Super awesome hero RB. Again, I don't ever plan to do hero RB, 0 wide receiver, 0 running back. I take best player available, and then we reflect on what strategy we ended up taking. You know, it's like a afterthought. Oh, it's hero RB. That's how you should draft. You shouldn't go in with a plan. Go in knowing how to do everything, and then just take what the board gives you. Hero RB. So the whole lesson is you watch someone like this show deploy hero RB, then you're ready for hero RB. Doesn't mean you go practice it and only do it. You can practice it, but I mean, don't only do it. You can go in a $5 and $3 draft and throw money away like that. That's fine. But like in your home leagues, your $100, $200, $500, $1,000 like buddy league, make sure you're versed in everything. And so it does help to try it out in a 3 or a $2 or a $5 draft on Underdog. Promo code Smitty, where Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. And bonus credit by just hitting that link that's pinned in the live chat or the link that's in the description of the video. We're going over the ADPs that we love and we don't love in 2026, the risers, the fallers. And this is a list right here of the players that have the images on some of these. Achane 2.5 and fantastic ADP. 2.7 AJ Brown, 2.9 Brock Bowers, 4.2 Neighbors, 3.4 McBride. I told my boy, I forget his name already, I'm sorry, bro, that I would try the double tight end in best ball for him to see if I could pull it off. Maybe I can. Neighbors, Evans, he certainly did a good job doing it. Josh Allen, 3.11, Ladd, ETN. These are the ADPs that I don't like at all. Right now, there's more of them, but we've gone through what we've gone through. Hammer, thanks again for the $20 super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. I gotta admit, I'm running on empty fuel today, so I'm dreaming a little bit about a hot dog from Portillo's. I have plenty of time. They close in like 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I should be able to get down there and get a dog. Get the side of cheese and just drench it in cheese. You can barely see you can't even see the dog in there. And then as I'm taking every bite, you dip every bite in the cheese too. Really jonesing for Portillo's hot dog right now. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, Kraft. Definitely a good pick in 7. I do tend to like to get him at the end of 7. But I do like Kraft a lot. And just going over these ADPs, love Metcalf in 7. Love Kraft. Dak's good. Lemon. It's not horrible value, but I certainly am not taking him there. It's still not great value. Warren, fantastic value. Herbert, great value. Not that Warren's bad. I just don't draft him. Caleb, that's reasonable. Like, he can produce that value for sure. Quentin Johnson. Burrow is unbelievable. Imagine passing on, like, Burrow or JD5 or May for Caleb, though. That's ridiculous when people do that. Mahomes is available. Harvey's there. Manungai, I love that. We've gone 0 RB. So maybe we go, or not 0, hero RB. Maybe we go Manungai here. So I got Manungai and Hampton. I'm going to grab like Keith Mitchell later. I'm so good at wide receiver. I'm not saying I'm going to take a huge break, but I usually do not draft wide receivers between like 7 and 10. There's just not a lot of good value there. I think this is where we'll maybe go with the usual Jonathan Brooks man's on the graphic. I love Harvey and Jonah Coleman, but I'm starting to draft a lot of Coleman and Jonathan Brooks and leaving Harvey on the side because I got a lot of Harvey and Jonah Coleman. I got so many shares of that. Harvey's probably one of my top 15 drafted players. Not that that's bad because you draft him so late. You're going to have higher numbers with players that are down far. Like Jonah Coleman's my number 1 drafted player. I think I have Jonah Coleman in 70% of all my best ball drafts. The next highest is like 45%. So he's almost near double everybody else. I take Jonah Coleman almost in every single draft. But Jonathan Brooks, Hampton, Manungai, AJB, Neighbors, Evans, BTJ, Drake May. Freaking unbelievable squad. Unbelievable. Do we like Harold Fannin Jr. this season? Of course we do. Yep, sure do. Corum and Manungai, love both of them. Garrett Wilson should be ranked behind Tet and Ladd this year. I think he should be ranked behind Ladd, but I don't think he should be ranked behind Tet. Brooks and Manungai, fun. I think Tyson's just a lot better than Lemon. Oh, yeah, by a mile. By a mile. What are we? Adams, fantastic. 5.1 value. Hendy, love him at 5.4. Tootin, 5.6. Unbelievable value. Or 5.5. And Bucky, solid there. You just got to cuff him. BTJ, I like the value. Evans, I took really early, but I couldn't, I'm at a disadvantage, down at this 11 to wait all, like Evans goes like right around here. So there's, you have to reach sometimes. What's the worst team for fantasy this year? The Browns. They're one of them. I mean, they could produce, but I would say the worst team. And you know what? It's crazy because like the Jets are loaded, but they could think of like what Geno did to the Raiders. And I know that Bowers got hurt and everything, but like it was bad, man. I think they're different. Let's see here. Fannin's great value. I would have taken Fannin had he fallen for sure. That would have been an easy home run of a pick. I think I'm going to go. Wandell's nice here. I'm going to queue him up. Jalen Coker's pretty good here. He could go right at his ADP at the next selection. I'm probably going to go Matthew Stafford here. I'm a big believer in having a good rotation. I'll answer your question in a second. I don't think the Jets are the worst. I'm just saying they're going to be they're going to be one of the teams that go Jalen Coker. So Coker, BTJ, Evans, Neighbors, AJ Brown, unbelievable wide receiver room. Hampton, Manungai, Jonathan Brooks, I like it a lot. Don't I mean what the coaching staff did? I mean what both of them did. Geno's awful. He's trash. And the coaching staff is worse. So the combination of everything. But Geno's going to make it very tough on all those Jet players to do well. Get a Maxwell from Portillo's. Maxwell on me. $10 super chat from July. July, thank you for the super chat. A Maxwell, beef and cheddar on a croissant. It's amazing. I've never even heard of it. I go to Portillo's a little bit to get the hot dog, though. I don't really vary too much. Maybe I need to try this. Definitely going to use that tonight. Thanks, pal. I'll look for it. I can't guarantee I'm doing it tonight, though, because I'm jonesing for the hot dog. You know, just drenched in cheese. I don't want to get both. If I get both, I'll eat both. I can't do that. And I got to run tonight. What kind of stuff must be going on in your life to draft Devontae Smith before Rashee Rice? I have no idea, bro. I'm just blessed to be a part of the aftermath of that, watching all the players get pushed down. It's crazy, bro. It's wild. It's wild. Travis, you're live. Travis, how do you like this team so far? I mean, it looks a little similar to a lot of what I've been building lately, but it's got a little different variant to it. Hampton, AJB, Neighbors, Evans, BTJ, Drake May, Kyle Monangai, Jonathan Brooks, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Coker.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Coker pick. I was calling just because Andrew had a trade question that I was curious on your take with it. So when you have a chance, I'll run it by you.
Okay. Do you have Portillo's where you're at?
No.
Okay.
No.
You know, I'm surprised I didn't take the boys there. We should have walked over there. Actually got back into it just after I'd hung out with the guys in the meetup there. Arizona meetup the other day for the Scott Fish Bowl. I went there on my way home, and I was like, I went back there that night at midnight, got another hot dog. But I kind of didn't get back into it until we already decided they were leaving. They're getting on a plane the next day. So maybe that's a spot we hang out too. But it's good. Portillo's is really good. We could hang out there for a while. Go ahead. Actually, Travis, let me make these back-to-backs, and then I'll get your take here. Roland says, I'll be in Nevada. I'll be close to Smitty. I mean, it's not that close, bro. Bro, acts like he's next door. Let's go Keaton Mitchell before this guy snags him from me. Keaton Mitchell, tough to Hampton. Love it. I'll probably take Vidal as well. I do know that this guy drafts what I'm drafting right after every time. Like Stafford, then he went Purdy, Love. Well, I guess not with the wide receivers up here, but up there he did the same thing. But okay, so let's go with a good old Chiga Conquo, probably my biggest steal tight end and I took him even over Goddard. I think Goddard's got a big year with no AJB, but I think Okonkwo is top 5 to 7. I think he's going to explode. So I got Mitchell, Cuff to Hampton. I've got Monangai and Jonathan Brooks. Feeling really good about this hero RB build. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, so the trade was just so he'd be giving up the 1.04, which he thinks will be Tyson, RJ Harvey, Kristen Watson, and a 27 second rounder.
Okay.
And he'd be getting back Bucky Irving, the 1.05, which he would take Lemon, and then a third rounder in Ridley. So those don't matter as much.
Okay, so I have 1.4, which he said it would be who?
He's thinking Tyson.
All right, let's put it in there because he must, it matters if you think you can get Tyson. Okay, so
he said basically they're flipping the 1.4 and 1.5,
yeah.
And he said Tyson versus Lemon. So
it's a tough one because I love Bucky, but if you don't have him cuffed, it is a little bit concerning. I think Tyson is pretty damn good. Would you rather have Tyson or Bucky straight up in a dynasty?
I'd rather have Tyson, but.
And that's not a knock on.
I can understand the argument.
Yeah, it's not a knock on Bucky. It's just okay. What if you had Bucky? What if you had all 3 Tampa Bay running backs or Tyson? Would you take all 3 backs, or would you take Tyson still?
think I still take Tyson, but
Yeah.
that's like 50-50 though. I mean,
I think I do my best to get Coleman in the Tyson Harvey Watson side, but I mean, that's Christian Watson, right? Just making sure.
yes.
Yeah, you got. I mean, if the reason I'm asking the question is because when I first wrote this, my answer is like Tyson side by a mile. But I just wanted to get your take on how. And I'm a huge Bucky guy, so I wanted to know how. If I'm saying Tyson side by a mile, and honestly, if you take Watson out of this, Tyson and Harvey for Bucky and Lemon, I might still take Tyson. You're giving me Watson. I don't understand. Yeah, this trade is not even close to me.
Yeah,
And I like Bucky.
and like I guess I'm looking at his chat log here, and I guess he's really good at wide receiver. He's got JSN, Wilson, Pet, Ladd, Burden, but so like I'm okay with it if he wants to go get
Just do something different,
Bucky, but I think he's giving up too much, right?
Yeah, you don't need to do that. You don't need to.
Right.
And I don't condone the I have too much. Why don't I just do this?
Me neither.
Wait,
right.
you just wait.
It's only in that rare occasion where you're like going after a Bowers or a Gibbs where you trade from surplus for that reason.
Yeah, agreed. Do I go with Antonio Williams or Tesla or
kind of like Williams with Chig? It's not a bad combo. You know, one of them.
Yeah, I think I'll go Williams here. And he probably won't make it back to my next pick because his ADP is slightly before. All right, so we'll go Williams. So really, really good team. Man, I love the squad. I feel like I haven't really made any missteps or anything. Like reverse engineering it. I can't think of a pick I made a mistake on. Hampton, AJ Brown, Neighbors, Mike Evans, BTJ, Drake May, Manungai, Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, Kufta Hampton, Okonkwo, Jonah Coleman, Antonio Williams. Got 4 picks left. I got Matthew Stafford and Drake May, and their bye weeks are the same, so that is one problem that I have to try and solve, which I tend to couple these guys together a lot, and it becomes a very hard problem to solve because when you get, I don't like taking a third quarterback early, and then I end up like grabbing like a Brissett who's not guaranteed to be starting by week 11 because that bye week is late. So I just got to hope Brissett's in there. But Brissett usually is the solution. But there's not much else you can. Fernando Mendoza's got a bye week of 13. He's probably going to be in there by then. If Fernando Mendoza's there, I'll take him instead of Brissett. But he's the top quarterback available right now, so he could be sniped. I'm going to grab Vidal at the very end of the draft. He's got a 214 ADP, so he should last.
Roland asked, is Smitty like Brazel or Zach Branch better?
Brazel.
You're still with Brazel, yeah.
Yeah, Brazel. And Pickleback says, would you rather keep CD like Nickelback? Pickleback. What's that Nickelback song?
Got a lot of them.
Like what's one of the like names of one? I feel Pickleback. Would you rather keep CD and Genty on and still have a 4th and 5th round pick, or trade 5th for St. Brown for CD Brown? I'm confused. I think so are you with the name, but 3 wide receivers, no new picks. I don't know. You wrote this really confusing. Travis can usually decipher these better than I can. Would you rather keep CD and Genty and still have a 4th and 5th round pick, or trade a 5th for St. Brown for CD and Brown? So I guess like would I rather CD and Brown versus Genty and CD? I'd rather have Genty's a 1st round pick, so I'd rather have a 5th rounder in Genty if that's what he's asking.
Okay, all right, yeah. So Genty disappears if he goes.
Yeah,
it looks like.
I don't want. Why would I want Genty to disappear? I'm drafting Genty ahead of Brown.
Yeah.
So you're kicking me in the sack by doing that, and when I don't need to be kicked in the sack, I'm fine without it.
There's a way he could get Genty and St. Brown. I'd be okay with that too. But I'm not getting rid of Genti.
Mm-hmm. All right, I went Mendoza. He'll definitely be starting by week 13. I mean, he'll be starting probably by week 5.
Yeah.
And then Vidal, I'll get Vidal. I need.
Oh, after you make this pick.
Do you feel how confident do you feel? And I've got like 10 seconds. How confident do you feel in my strategy of my second and third tight end being Terrence Ferguson and Parkinson, or do you think that the Higbee thing is a problem?
No, I don't think I don't think that's a problem because
I kind of love it.
He gets hurt all the time, and then with Claire, he probably takes a year to get there. So Parkinson and Ferguson, they're in the offense.
Pickle, thank you.
I like them most. I wish they didn't sign Higbee. I don't really, but I guess he knows the offense is cheap enough. But
A-Rod says Smitty no hate. Just genuinely
I was going to
curious.
ask this.
Why Hampton over Cook? I mean, there's nothing wrong with Cook over Hampton, but I mean, can't you ask that question about like every pick someone makes? Like, I don't really understand what the problem is grabbing Hampton over. I'm not saying you're saying it's a problem, but it's like you could say this about any pick that's made. Like, hey, Smitty, I no hate or anything, but why are you taking, Coker over, Myers? It's like it's preference. My answer.
Especially that cluster of running backs from pick 8 to pick 14 or whatever. There's so many running backs that go in that group you could interchange.
I mean, the true answer is
the Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
I mean, this is the answer. I mean, if I'm predicting Hampton to literally live in outer space all year long, I would think it would be, it would be consistent of me to draft him over. Wheel Snipe dropping another 5 gifted memberships. You're not wrong to like Cook over Hampton, but I don't think in any sort of like position where it's like that. And I don't care that you're asking. I don't take it offensive, but it's like saying no hate, Smitty, but why are you taking Emmett Johnson over Sean Tucker? It's like, it's very obvious that they're really close, bro. But I do feel like Hampton's going to be a top 5 running back this year. Mike McDaniel, cuff him to keep Mitchell. It's an amazing offense. Not that Buffalo is not amazing, but everyone keeps saying DJ Moore's there is going to help. I don't know that I see it hurting per se, but I don't know that I see it helping the DJ. Like, there's a little bit more of a chance that they throw less touchdowns or throw a little bit less. And I know, Travis, you said last night you think it could help them. And I understand the thinking, and I could get behind, that it's possible. But I just believe that Cook has been a benefactor of having really not a lot going on. And it doesn't mean he won't be good. He's going to be second round good to me. But I think first round good.
No, I just said I think they might throw to Cook a little more.
Yeah.
Like from 33 catches to 40 or 45 catches. Like,
James might have another trade for you. Hammer says James might have another trade for you. He might. Wide receiver shopping. Maybe I go Malachi Fields because I have Neighbors as my final pick. I feel like I really made this team very well-rounded. Very well-rounded team. There's not a potential problem, a bye week issue. Nothing wrong with this squad whatsoever. Probably one of the more logical teams I've built in a while. I'll put it on screen here. It really is a fantastic looking squad. I didn't take Vidal, which I felt like I was going to. Oh no, do I have one more pick? No, I don't. Yeah. But that's okay. I don't think it was necessary. It was something I wanted to do just to cover my bases. Some people don't care about cuffing at all. And every situation is case by case for cuffing. I don't just cuff everything. So really good squad, I think. Got
I think
AJB,
so too.
Neighbors, Evans, BTJ, Coker, Antonio Williams, Malachi Fields, cuffed to Neighbors, Drake May and AJB together, Matthew Stafford, Fernando Mendoza, the bye weeks covered, Hampton, Monungai, Jonathan Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, Jonah Coleman. One thing I love about this team is that if things go awry in my running back room, there's a chance Hampton and Keaton Mitchell are starting for me all year together at the same time. That's Achane and Mostert. You know, it might really be that way with Mike now, Malibu Mike. So I feel pretty good about this team. And then Chig Okonkwo, Ferguson, and Colby Parkinson cuffing that to Stafford's really fun. And I do believe this is a really good tight end plan in 2026. Grab your more efficient, bigger name, Okonkwo, Goddard, whoever, and then grab Ferguson and Colby Parkinson. And between those two, you probably get like 8 touchdowns. That's the way Stafford delivers the football. And I think that's going to come in handy. Even in a flex capacity, you might get a touchdown at 40 yards from these guys once in a while. So pretty solid squad. ADP wise. Oh, who do I have on the phone? I hear somebody called in here. We got
DT.
Double T.
The Double T.
Double T. What's up, Double T?
I think that's a pretty great squad. Something else that's really good about that squad that you built, it really showed off the picking best available towards what you said in the beginning, like how you feel what's going on with the ADP.
Yeah.
And you're not really chasing hero RB, but you pick based on what you know is on the board.
Yeah.
That's how that squad came out.
Yeah, never like force it. Just let the draft come to you, and then sometimes you're going to draft hero RB, sometimes you're not. And if you verse yourself in everything, then you'll be good to go. And I don't mind you forcing a draft at $2 or $3 clips because then you can practice or whatever. It's fine. But yeah, I like this team a lot. Going to depend on Brooks and Monungai and Keaton Mitchell and Jonah Coleman, but I really believe Keaton Mitchell and Hampton could both have great years. I really do. I mean, think of Achane. If I recall properly, Achane and Mostert were both top 10. I think Achane was still what was he? I mean, he's a rookie. He sat out a handful of games. I forget where he ended up finishing, like at week 17, but went on the field together. They were both top like 7 running backs. So Keaton Mitchell.
So he only played 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
So that held him back. He finished 24. But
per start.
If you look at the per start, like he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 11 games he was a top 10 back. 4 out of those he was a top 5 back. Achane.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they're both top 10.
That's still not bad.
Yeah, they're both top 10 running backs when they were on the field together. They were both top 10 running backs. So, I feel like Keaton Mitchell is his next Achane. I really do. It doesn't mean Hampton can't get Mostert, though. I don't want people to think I'm not. I just think that we always try and everybody guesses wrong. McDaniel comes over from San Francisco, and it's like, Tyreek Hill, he's going to be... And not saying Tyreek Hill wasn't good, but Tyreek Hill wasn't his weapon. His weapon was Mostert and followed by Achane. And then now he goes over to LAC, and it's going to be Hampton, just like Hill was still very good in his prime part of McDaniel's run. And so Hampton's going to be great. He's going to be great. That's why I drafted him where I drafted him. But we might be very shocked at when the season's over, who's the real benefactor? Is it Lab McConkey being the Deebo Samuel again? Is it Keaton Mitchell, Lab McConkey, and Hampton all just feasting? And you might say, well, Smitty, I don't know, because he had Mostert and Achane, but, it did take away from other parts of the offense. Ask yourself the question, what is different about this equation? One of the best offensive lines. It'll be healthy finally. And also Justin Herbert. He's never had Herbert, so now he has a surplus of volume that he could now make 3 monsters for. He's not confined to just doing what he's done. He can grow what he's doing. And with Herbert, he might literally turn Aladdin to his Deebo, Hampton becomes his Mostert, and Keaton Mitchell becomes his Achane. And we might really see all 3 of them be elite performers. And Keaton Mitchell is a monster. And remember, This guy went into his head coach's office, Harbaugh, and slapped a joke of a poster up on the wall that said "wanted," and it was
Wanted.
It was a picture of Keaton Mitchell, and it said "wanted."
Wanted.
And so they went out and got him. This coach went to bat trying to get Keaton Mitchell on the roster, and he succeeded. So what do you think? He's not going to be used? Mitchell's a dangerous weapon all in his own right. He should be drafted everywhere standalone, and he's a must cuff. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to move Keaton Mitchell to the number 1 on the cuff board. And Swift and Manungai, it's like, Manungai's like so standalone. I don't even know if he's a cuff. Like, I don't even know if you can put Manungai as a cuff anymore. I just don't think he's really a cuff. I don't know.
No, it's almost like a split. Like, I think he's going to be more the main guy a lot of games. I think they're going to lean on him.
Yeah, but is he drafted like a? We all agree on that. But is he drafted like a cuff? I don't even think he's drafted like a cuff anymore. So I don't think he can be on the cuff board.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna put him down here so that when people mention him, like, I don't know. You know what? I don't know if I'm even gonna put him on here. It's just gonna confuse people. I think he's in the sub tier. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have him on here. Coleman. Let's go with this here. That there. Okay. Caller, you were trying to say something. Double T, what were you trying to say?
Oh, I was just saying that I don't think Manungai is a cuff, really. It seems that he always gets drafted standalone on most drafts because he's going like 10th round majority of the time, and most cuffs don't go 10th round.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say how to value that, honestly. And I'm not trying to send a message either that he's cuff material. Like, he is standalone. I don't even grab Swift. And so for me, even if he is a cuff to a lot of people, to me, I don't draft him together ever. So this is the cuff board. So I moved Keaton Mitchell to number 1 on the cuff board. I think he's the most valuable standalone player right now in fantasy football that is not in a position where people think of him as a starter. Jonah Coleman is still right up there. I could easily put Coleman, 2, but I have Bucky, Gainwell, Tucker. What else you got, Double T?
I got a question for both of y'all that y'all can answer for me. I'm starting my first dynasty, and it's going to be Superflex. And I was just thinking off of one of the shows the other day, if I'm not the number 1 or 2 pick to get Josh Allen or May, in a Superflex dynasty, should I go after Jamar Chase or Jahmyr Gibbs? Or should I have to get that QB first round?
I mean, JD5, let me give you a couple of examples. I'm in a Wild Wild West league, and I've been offered quarterbacks that are below Allen and May, but right below Allen and May, for Gibbs, and I've said no. But that's because I've already built my team. If you're in the middle or at the top of round 1, you haven't drafted yet, you really should be taking JD5. You really should be taking those top quarterbacks. And I think once you get past, let's say, Lamar, Burrow, and JD5.
I still take Mahomes, but I know I'm probably in the minority.
If it's dynasty, maybe, but I would say Allen, May, Lamar, JD5, Burrow, and then maybe Mahomes in dynasty, not in redraft, but in dynasty, I would take over Gibbs, but then I'd probably take Gibbs next, or Jamar Chase.
Okay, so if I'm at like 10 and those guys are gone, then maybe I should consider Jahmyr or Chase. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's what I wanted to.
All right, Double T. Stay close in case somebody drops a $50 super chat and activates the council. All right.
All right, then.
Later.
Peace.
Hammer, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but the council at 12 is up. Somebody dropped. We had two calls for the council on the 8 p.m. show. Anybody drops one tonight, we will be initiating that. And I'm gonna have like a roll. Travis, did you make it for the second one or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Well, which one was there? I saw the Pickens JJ one.
Okay. Yeah, we had one other one, I think. Yeah, there was two council calls. I think the first one.
Oh no, yeah. The bench tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was there for both. Yep.
Purple John, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, thanks for the phone call. I just want to ask you if you've seen any rumblings or any news on any players at training camp or before training camp, if anybody's piqued your interest and is skyrocketing.
John, I do that at 8 p.m. Eastern every single day, Monday through Friday. That's the news show. The news show, it's all I do. I go live. I don't draft on it. It's news. It's breaking down what we're hearing. So I'm constant.
Well, a quick 30 second or like 10-second, 5-second breakdown.
Jonathan Brooks looks fantastic. First team reps. He already took some first team reps. He rotated him. That's probably one of the biggest pieces of news. Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice were deemed fully ready to go. If you go back and watch the 8 p.m. show though, because they usually have it all in the headlines and the titles, and usually the first 5 minutes.
Rookies though, rookies.
Oh, rookies. Love looked good today. He looked fantastic. He looks smooth. He looks electric. They keep throwing to him consistently. They're utilizing his hands, getting him ready. His attitude's phenomenal. He's such a well-spoken just leader. And I think he's going to translate right away. And I think people that are sleeping on a value, which at one point was like 15, I think at one point 14, 15 overall ADP, and he's dropped now to this 3-2-3 turn. Which did I put Love on the list, the ADP board list? Maybe I didn't yet. Love at 2.12 still a value, just still a really, really nice value. Let me see if I did that. As far as like deeper names, I don't think I did. It's a 2.12 Jeremiah Love. As far as deeper names, I don't know. Travis, can you remember what I've talked about the last 48 hours in regards to rookies? We've had a lot occur.
Like how deep are we going, really? Like,
I don't know.
Like, are we talking about people that can make a presence this year, or that we're stashing in hopes that?
John's probably interested in like 2029. But
as deep as you can go.
I guess I'm trying to think of like what I've talked about recently. Little Chris Bell, this, that people are expecting him to be, ready right away, or they don't want anything to do with him. He's going to take time. We've known that the whole time, but I really am excited about when that time comes, probably mid-October, late October. I don't know that there's been much, bro, that's been new for rookies that has changed much. Yeah, I don't think we've had much.
I think in the next
like
week or two, we'll start to hear more.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely, we've covered a lot like this offseason, obviously, but as far as new, like nothing on Kalen Black that's new, nothing on like any of the rookie running backs that are like in Katron Allen's position. Emmett Johnson doesn't seem to be like making a splash yet or anything, but they like him a lot. Claiborne hasn't done anything yet of note that we'll be keeping an eye on. And Coleman, we keep talking about Coleman, but nothing new has risen up lately. I don't think there's much at all rookie that has come up recently in the last like 48 hours or even maybe 3 days that is all that relevant to value changes or anything different for, as far as what we're talking on. So I don't think there's anything.
What do you
guys have any news on the Stribling dude? Like, is that guy actually going to get used? Is his value going to stay, or is it just going to tank?
He's waiting an injury. Like, if an injury happens, other than that, how can he do anything substantial with Pearsall, Evans, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle, Tunges?
He'd have to blow them away in preseason, and at that point it would be like he'd be cutting into maybe Pearsall's touches or something. But if everyone's healthy, he's definitely like a stash. And like, I don't know where exactly you stand on him, Smitty, but like, I like him, but I think he's like a guy that's waiting in the wings behind Evans. Like, he might have a couple games and do a couple things, but I don't think he's starting yet.
Yeah, I guess.
Appreciate it a lot.
I guess,
Appreciate it a lot, you two. Have a good night. Hopefully we get some more news next week.
Later, John. I don't know.
Later, John.
The things I like about Stribling would be, I feel like he has good hands. I feel like he's got good speed. I feel like he's got some good potential
He's big.
blocking.
I like his
He's a big guy.
You know.
Not like the most complex route tree experience, but that's not like it can't happen. He moved around a lot in college.
I like the landing spot. I like him learning from Evans and in the Shanahan system. Like, we're pulling all the positives right now too, obviously. But
yeah, I think the other thing too is isn't he a lot older? Not that that's always the worst thing in the world, but I think he's a little bit older of a player. And so he's 23.6. Yeah,
and that's a good point though, because if you actually look at like the data about whether they want to call it breakout year or when they had their big year in college or when they came on the radar as a prospect, a lot of your guys that are studs, you're seeing that by like their age 19 or 20 season at the latest.
Yeah, there's just some. It's not always a lock, but there's something to it that gives you at least a good trending place to start. So those things worry me. Like he's older already, and then by the time he even gets a shot next year, he's even older, and then we'll see. I don't know. There's some pros and cons. They called him like kind of a journeyman too. In college, but I like him. He's really fast. I just don't know. Not like Niner fans are weird about this stuff. Like Niner fans hated the pick. They're like, Shanahan sucks. This guy wasn't even a first round grade. And now they talk about Stribling in San Francisco like he's the top wide. You hear someone over there? I don't know who they are, but they just said he's the best wide receiver in the class. Like he's not the best wide receiver in the class. If he was the best wide receiver in the class, he would have been chosen as the best wide receiver in the class. But I like him, but a lot has to go on for him to do well. A lot.
And there's something to say about these older guys, older kids, whatever you want to call them, breaking out late. Well, you're 22, 23 years old playing against 18, 19, 20-year-olds. You're getting that like grown man strength in your last year of college. So how much of that is playing into it as opposed to, you just, came into your own?
Yeah, the reason, if anybody wants to know why there's like data behind it, science, when you excel at a younger age, what Travis just said, the reverse of it, if you're doing that before you've even gotten to that age where you are like getting that extra boost in maturity, strength, all that little like your final like bits of growth or whatever, and you're doing it at a younger age, what's that say when you catch up to everybody else, you're going to be further ahead of them. So there is like science behind it. It's not just, a bunch of hogwash like, 20. It's just why you don't see a lot of 20. Like Harvey's older. So Harvey having a long career as a sole starter in Denver, probably not going to happen, even though I love him. But he's also older. It just isn't typically going to happen. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. There's outliers. It happens all the time. But there's a reason that it is the way it is. It's like
you have to talk
about big data,
all these things into these things into consideration, because when you're in dynasty, especially with these end of the bench and taxi spots, you're trying to you're basically gambling. It's like a scratch ticket, and what's the percentage chance this guy is going to do something for me? Well, if he's this old, it cuts it down by this much percent. If he's undersized, it cuts it down by this. If he, is slow, it cuts it down by this. You start adding these things up, just like red flags with different players.
Yeah.
And you decide, is it worth the risk?
I think if an injury, this is my final answer on Stribling. If an injury happens, he'll have an opportunity and we'll see what's what. And just like Shuck, I wasn't high on Shuck. Now I like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. I could very much be on board, because the opportunity will be different. But right now, the opportunity is not there. So trying to like dive into what Stribling is going to be when Pearsall, Mike Evans, Kittle, Tunges, Christian McCaffrey are all trying to eat, like how the hell is he going to be any sort of consistent? He's not.
Is Christian Kirk there too?
Yes. Yeah.
They signed Kirk?
Yeah. So this is too many mouths to feed. DJ, hold on 1 second. Then I'll go to DJ. My man, Smitty, great to be back in the mix. Keep up the great work, brother. Let's get you to 100K subs. Subscribe if you're new. hit that thumb up button on the way in the door. We've got about 180, 200 people in here, and we only have 48 thumbs up. If we could get in the habit of hitting that thumb up button, that would help. And if you're on Rumble with Hammer and Shelly, subscribe over there or follow over there, and hit that thumb up button over on Rumble. Just make sure you're subscribed. Everybody cross-subscribe too. If you're on YouTube, hit the Rumble link and follow over there. If you're on Rumble, hit the YouTube link in the description and follow over there. The links are in the description of both videos. And Jonathan with the Super Chat, Dynasty, is Jaden Blue an add-off waivers? Absolutely. If you have, we love Jaden Blue. You remember how much we love Jaden Blue, Travis? We were so high on him. I almost feel stupid how high we were on him, and he did nothing. And he didn't climb up. He didn't get favored by this. But, man, we're hearing the hype.
Then he hurt his ankle.
Yeah, then he hurt. We're hearing the hype. I'm hoping we were
good.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're ultimately right about this thing. I love Jaden Blue coming out of college. He reminds me of somebody that really could be that out of nowhere league winner. And I love Javonte, not trying to say anything negative about Javonte at all. But if anything did happen, you need to cuff the two. And that probably needs to be on the cuff board, actually. I need to fix that. But Jaden Blue, do I have Blue on here? Yes, I do have him on here. Okay. I'll put him up here. He's kind of really, really important. And Brooks, I have Brooks here, but Brooks isn't a cuff anymore. He's a starter, so I'm going to take him off. So, yeah, I would say Blue is one of the most important cuffs in fantasy. And he's a great standalone grab. And they really like him, and we're hearing nothing but positive things about him right now. Like, to the point where you wonder if they're going to use him a little bit just to see what he can do. And not going to take Javonte's job, but maybe get him versed, and, they kind of get a feel of what he's capable of being in terms of the future, and just getting more reps. And if something happened to Javonte, then Blue could come in and he'd be ready to go. So I really like him. I really like him.
It was week 18, so take it with a grain of salt. But Javonte sat out, and he went 16 for 64 with a touchdown, splitting time with Davis. Malik Davis.
He's a really good player.
He stepped right in and produced.
I loved him.
He's fast.
I loved him.
He's really fast too.
He was a moon man last year.
He had a great profile.
We had him on the moon man list last year. It sucked watching it. I felt handcuffed, and I remember he got in there one time, and was it the preseason or I forget? And he had a nice run, and we're like, and then he missed some blocks or something. We're like, no. And then there was one time where we went in. I forget if it was a preseason game or if it was what it was, but he went in and he I think it was a preseason game, and Dak was in there, and he picked up blitz and just saved Dak's life practically. And we're so excited. We're like, oh, that's what they wanted. And then just nothing happened. But be careful. Don't expect too much, because last year we did, and it didn't work out. And we're only so much is in our control. We identify the talent. Sometimes you can't predict how it's going to go, but Blue's nice. DJ, you're live.
Best show on the planet, Smitty. What's up, squad? Travis, the GM. Marion Hampton and the Keaton Mitchell cuff, or even Keaton Mitchell, I believe, he may be having some good standalone value.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, he is. I don't know what was in the chat, maybe Pickle. But, yeah, he's by definition, change of pace and third down, but he's so explosive. And he's a year removed from his knee injury. I think his production will be even better than what it was in Baltimore, and in large part attributed to Malibu Mike. So yeah, I'm excited about him. But no doubt Hampton is that dude, and also has the catching capability. But Keaton Mitchell will definitely, in my opinion, be productive if Hampton should go down, Lord forbid. Vidal step into that role. So I think Keaton Mitchell's Malibu design and wanting him, he has a plan for him.
Mitchell. I think it's. For those that don't know about Mitchell, he was playing better than Achane during Achane and Mitchell's rookie year when Achane became Achane. And We're like, Achane was leading if it wasn't for Mitchell at the moment in time that before Mitchell tore his ACL as a rookie, Mitchell was leading NFL history in yards per carry. Achane was also breaking the record, but Mitchell was ahead of him. So they're breaking it together. And it was 8.4? What? 8.4 yards.
8.4.
And so he didn't qualify because he didn't have 100 carries. So Achane continued on to play. And so Achane broke the record of being the highest yards per carry average running back in the NFL at that moment in time through a season with his 8.3, I think it was 8.3 yards per carry over well over 100 carries. So Mitchell and Achane were the two new versions of what Achane is right now in the NFL. I'm not trying to say Mitchell will be Achane, but he's going to the coach that made Achane. He was leading Achane in yards per carry as a rookie over Achane, and Miami Mike, who made Achane, put a wanted picture up in his head coach's office and said, "Go get him, please." And his head coach and the GM and the organization, they went and got Keaton Mitchell. Wanted. So do we think that maybe he's going to say, "Don't need it"? That's like asking your wife to make a pot roast. She spends 3 hours, cooking it, making it. It sits for another 4 hours, whatever. And then when she lifts the lid and you walk over and you go, "I don't want any of that." You're done. You're done. Do you think for a minute that Mike put up a wanted poster in his coach's office and he doesn't plan on using the new shiny toy that they went out and got him? Mitchell is going to have amazing standalone value. He should be drafted in every single league. They paid Mitchell to come over as Hammer. That is true. He's a monster, standalone monster. He's on the Moon Man list. The Moon Man or the Mars Man or the Moon Man?
The Moon Man.
Man, Moon
dropping loads.
Moon Man, Mars Man,
tomorrow.
Saturn Man.
One small.
Jupiter Man. So freeze those if you will. Go ahead, DJ. What else you got?
So yeah, I just think that he's definitely an excellent cop. But going back to your draft, which I think is strong considering your wide receiver room and the backs that you have. What are you starting? 2 running backs, right? That's all.
2 running backs, 3 wide receivers,
then,
one flex.
Right. Exactly. So considering the backs that you have and having Keaton Mitchell, yeah, you very well might end up having Hampton and Mitchell as your top producers in best ball. So I love that from that standpoint. Jaden Blue, I was asking about him on yesterday, who is the backup or at least the RB2. There in Dallas, and I asked Shelley and a couple others, but it seems like, they are wanting, or at least maybe we are wanting, him to be RB2. I think Javonte, he's good, but he can run the ball, got a good contract, so he's good, but I think Blue is maybe a little bit more versatile. I'm not saying he's a better runner than Javonte. That's what's keeping him in the league, So I like that thought about Blue. Definitely a grab. Here's a deep dive. And I wish Ron Navy was here. The young man from, I think, Navy or one of the academies.
Eli Hunter.
There you go. Thanks, Travis, the GM. I think that from a PPR league and a grab, he might be ideal. I mean, his metrics, his measurables, I think he might be more of a receiver. Might end up playing that slot PPR cheat code type of role, 4.4 in the 40. All the metrics. And so I thought maybe I'd put that game on the table and see what you thought about him. And one more thing, Caleb Johnson, and I bring him up in that in terms of the depth chart, I don't see Heidenreich?
Yep.
Well, that young man necessarily jumping, Dowdle and Warren, but could he jump Caleb Johnson? Like,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
I'll shut up on that part.
Caleb Johnson
Yeah.
can't jump
Yeah.
at all. Caleb Johnson's Caleb Johnson fits the same mold of the Deontay Johnsons and all the other things. It's like the Caleb Johnson truthers were so at my throat every single day in the offseason of his incoming rookie year. Those people are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Caleb Johnson is trash. He won't do anything in this league. And it's the same. Who was the other running back that everybody thought was going to be unbelievable? So it was Cam Akers, Caleb Johnson, and then there was another running back that people are like, you're going to be wrong on this guy. He never developed. It was he had horrible metrics at the combine.
Was he a rookie?
Gosh, I can't remember.
And,
Can't remember his damn name. He was
Was he a rookie the same year? Or
right around the Cam Akers year, but this guy had horrible.
Estime? Audric Estime?
No. This guy had a horrible combine. Damn it. What was his name? I forget. I'll try and look it up. Dang it. But anyway, Cam Akers, Caleb Johnson, the list goes on, but Caleb Johnson is not doing anything. This guy, you're not going to rise like a phoenix after you've failed for 2 years, So don't even.
He's a big back that can't pass protect.
No, it's trash.
That's a death sentence.
God, who is that guy? Let me look and see.
Not Zach Evans.
No, but I think we're close to that. Might have been the class.
Andre Miller.
I didn't.
Well, while you're looking, I can't think who you're talking about because there's, I think, probably a few, but but the running back position and the guy up in Pittsburgh, Heidenreich, 7th round. So, I don't know how much the NFL looks at like the metrics for running backs, like what we might for, fantasy or what have you, because he was tops in terms of his combine and athleticism, etc. Of course, maybe coming from the military academy. So this whole running back thing, two things. One, from regular football, it suppresses, I think, their salaries because you can find a running back late. And with that said, if you are a 5th, 6th round running back, and again, this is real football, your pay increase from where you got drafted is pretty significant. Are they underpaid? Yeah. So that whole system there. But you can find those backs, and I just wanted to bring his name up because it just seems like he'll stick. Because it's not about the athleticism, And in fact, I think he's going to be maybe the slot. Like, this is just again a deep dive.
Yeah.
Special team slot, use him as a weapon, and see what he can do from there. Because Dowdle and Warren are both signed through 2027. So, if he can carve out a role, he's got a chance.
Yeah, deep dive, but maybe an eventual. That's not Smitty's advice or my advice. I'm just saying I'm looking at him, from that standpoint. Other than Pearsall, in San Francisco, and Stribling. What did Stribling go in the draft? I'm just curious.
Second.
I can't remember.
Second round, right?
Okay.
What pick was he?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Pick. I think it was horrible. It was horribly early. He went at 33 overall at the 2 point. Yeah.
Yep.
The second pick the first pick.
49, first pick.
First pick.
First pick in round 2.
This is horrible pick. Like I look, I'm not saying he's no upside, but like you had no business. It's like drafting a player we love, way too high. Like you don't need to do it. You shouldn't do it. You should be, be mindful of what you can get away with. And the Niners did not. They were not mindful whatsoever about what they could get away with. Travis, I'm looking at a long list here. I'm going to try and find this running back here. It's driving me nuts. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm looking. So you have to go ahead and talk.
Someone put a few more names out. Zamir White, Ty Chandler, Trent Edwards.
Nope.
None of those.
Let me find it. I'll find it. Remember Jake Funk? I'm looking at some of these names.
Yeah.
It's like he could be something. Man, I don't know. I don't know if maybe the name's not even being listed. God, was he like a undrafted free agent? I'm trying.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
I'm look at like the list of rookies.
I don't think it's past 20. It's not like 2019 or anything. I'm looking. I'm just making sure it's not in there. I don't think it is. I think it's above 2020. And I don't know why I can't remember the name. Oh, well. That's all right. Let me get Rock Out in here. Rock Out, you are live.
It's
young man.
Ray Sermon?
No. Rock Out, what can I do for you? You're live.
Hello? So what's your feelings on ETN, Hall, and Javante? They kind of go around the same area.
Maybe it was Chris Evans. Maybe no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm trying to think of who it was. ETN, Hall, and who else?
Javante.
ETN, Hall. I like ETN more. I know not everybody agrees, but I just like him.
Yeah.
I think it's a great spot.
I'd take ETN out of them. And I really like Javante, but I'd take ETN.
Yeah, I got ETN first.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why I didn't see this. Isaiah Spiller.
Oh.
He had a there was, and the reason I brought him up is there was a huge following behind him, and he had a horrible combine, if I remember correctly, and people were like, he's going to be good, he's going to be good, you're going to see, he's going to be good, but yeah, I had to find it, and so I don't know if you said that or anybody said that, but that was it. At first, I passed it by. I'm like, no, but it was Isaiah Spiller.
Chargers, right?
Yeah. He's definitely, but Spiller, horrible.
Buffalo.
No, you're thinking of the other Spiller.
Spiller.
You're thinking of the good Spiller. No, this is that's a different Spiller. I like that guy.
Yeah, he was 2022 was Isaiah Spiller, and then they also signed Josh Kelly as undrafted free agent that year. People were high on him too.
No, I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I always liked him. And Joe Burrow loved him. Joe Burrow, he was a 17, 18 touchdown running back at LSU that year. And the Chiefs just ruined him. I think Spiller or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CEH could have been really, really good. Yeah. And Joe Burrow to this day says that he's the best college football player he's ever shared a field with. And that goes for both Bosa brothers. That goes for, he said, over everyone. That's the best college football player he has ever been on a field with, against him or on the same team. Jamar Chase. He says CEH was the best player over Chase, over JJ, over everybody. And I just think he could have been something special if he was used right. And if you remember his first game, it was like, wasn't it like 150? It was like 150 yards. He was really different. Big. And I don't care if people disagree with me. Like, sometimes players don't work out, Charles Rogers kept breaking his collarbone. Didn't work out. Lee Suggs had a narrow spinal cord column, and he couldn't play. Like, it just happened.
25 for 138. 25 for 138 and a touchdown.
Yeah, I remember after week one, we're like, we hit it. We hit it big, boys. Clyde Edwards-Helaire they just ruined him. He was so good, though. He was so good.
Week 6, 26 for 161.
Yeah.
But, besides that, he would get like 10 carries, 8 carries.
It was really hard for me to watch.
Le'Veon Bell was there, vulturing from him. And
it was hard for me to watch because I know I'm right about the talent, but it sometimes just doesn't come together. Mixed with coaches ruining the player, and the mental instability. Yeah, Hammer and whoever else said that in the YouTube chat. He kind of had a mental issue and stepped away, and then he could never get back on the field. But I mean, there were proven spots where he looked really, really good. I also liked Kenyon Drake a lot too. There, if you want me to bring up two players, people always say I don't admit any of my misses. I'll admit them all the time. Kenyon Drake, and I thought he was really good too. I thought he could have been really good. Cardinals screwed that up. Kenyon Drake, Beanie Wells, Cardinals screwed. He got hurt, but leave it to the Cardinals to have the guy.
Who was the
Beanie Wells could have been.
Who was the Lions guy? Everyone. People loved. You remember Kerryon Johnson? People loved that.
Yes. Greg Hill for the Lions. Also, I loved him back in the day. Greg Hill could have been really good. But yeah, Kenyon Drake had tons.
Who was Kenyon Drake with at one point? Oh, was it?
Well, Arizona's
Myles Gaskin, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But was Amir Abdullah, who I had to look up, he's still in the league, but a second round draft pick. I don't know that I like him coming in, but Amir Abdullah.
Concussions, that's what took him out.
Playing.
Yeah. Which is wild because concussions are what took his career out and he's still playing. Which is wild. Yeah. But yeah, he was Abdullah was really, really going to be something special. I'd say the biggest name I can think of he never was. Never was. Like, we're not talking about a guy that played well. Like someone's throwing out Eddie Lacy last time we did this. It's like, no, those guys played well. He never was with Kajana Carter. Kajana Carter and Beanie Wells feel like the two running backs that got away.
Yeah.
The Beanie Wells and Kajana Carter. Kajana Carter, like, even when I say that, I get a weird, like, nostalgic feeling of when I drafted him, and I'm like, I've got him! I've done it, boys!
Kajana Carter just tore his knee apart right away, and that was it.
After a draft.
I don't... Maurice Clarett fits in, but we watched him. I watched him, at Ohio State. I was like, wow.
Yeah, Clarett. Beanie Wells was one I was really excited about too. Andre Ellington, that was one of the names too. Marlon Mack. David Johnson was the role, and he was amazing. So it was short lived, but that doesn't qualify. You guys keep bringing up names of players that really dominated, like David Johnson.
We did this a couple weeks ago too.
I know, Roland. I don't think you know the name of this game. This game is the player that never was. Charles Rogers never was. Beanie Wells never was. Kajana Carter never was. Johnny Manziel never was. Johnny Manziel, man, that's gonna be is he the best college football player ever?
I mean, it's like him and Tebow, two guys that never worked in the NFL. Like, they just dominated in college.
I mean, Manziel was
Johnny because he was such a good passer and everything.
Trent Richardson was great too. He never was. Although he kind of lingered a little bit, and then he went to the Arena, not the Arena League.
This what was it? 2018 draft had a few guys. Kerryon Johnson, Darius Geis, Royce Freeman, Ronald Jones. People love those guys.
Geis. Right.
Geis, I remember that.
Forgot about.
Ronald Jones, everyone thought he was taking the job in Tampa.
Yeah. Cadillac did play a while, but Cadillac Williams was also one that would be more of the David Johnson caliber, where you're like short-lived. But Cadillac was real fun to watch. Him and Cedric Benson, man. Those guys were the same rookie year, exciting players to draft. Ronnie Brown, same rookie year. I've had Ronnie Brown on the show, by the way. He's come on the show before.
He was second overall pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ronnie Brown was he had
second
lots
overall.
of potential. But he came on the show one time.
Big too.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get Jamal Charles on the show, but we'll see. These guys, they just don't, they either don't want to talk football anymore. Like I try to get Arian Foster on. Arian Foster refuses to talk about football, to my knowledge.
Yeah, because he goes on podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, but he's all about.
I actually just saw a clip of him talking about he's thinking about selling all the jerseys that he got from other guys like after games. He's like, I just don't do it. I don't have anything to do with them. And
He doesn't like football
at all. Hang him up, make a room, and he's just like, no. I'll give you guys first shot at them if you want to buy some.
It's
need
depressing,
the money, dude.
More college would have been. Hammer extending the show another 5 minutes.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Hammer. Appreciate you extending the show another additional 5 minutes. 10 minutes and 53 seconds left. All right, let's go through a list of names that could potentially be, and I'll add Hammer to the line here. And actually, Rockout, did you have anything else, Rockout? I mean, you can stay on the phone line, but I didn't know if I cut you off.
No, you're good right now.
Okay. And Hammer, you can bring up other college players, but I was going to also say, what if we talk about players that we believe will be having the same conversation about players that never were, that are currently slated to do something now? What players might that be? One that comes to mind for me, I suppose, would be like Scattaboo. If we were trying, like if he goes out there and injures himself again, and Scott never, like he has a vibe of a player they could never be. I don't want it to be the case, but it's certainly one of those names that for sure could end up,
I think Scott is more a case of shouldn't be, and I think that that's a part of the challenge with him. Just perspective. Like he probably shouldn't be. He doesn't hit the metrics. He doesn't
right.
do anything.
And Jonathan Brooks. So Scott and Jonathan Brooks. As much as I'm talking up Jonathan Brooks this week, he's somebody that could never be. If he ends up getting hurt again, he's done. I mean, he's never going to be. I love him though. Just to preface, I love him. I think he's going to be the guy. But I say these are the two most likely players to bring up that have the risk of, if they get injured again, they may never climb to heights to remain in the league. It's very, very possible. Hammer.
So are you talking about guys that could be like out of the league in 2 years? Then, or guys that could be bust?
Yeah. I'm not talking about guys that linger for 5 or 6 years. I'm saying like these particular guys with their injury history. Have the chance.
Like MHJ or a Doomsday,
they're
going to hang around.
They're hanging around,
even if they don't become studs.
Yeah, no, this is like never were. Wide receiver like BTJ doesn't apply. MHJ doesn't apply. Those guys will absolutely linger. I don't know that many receivers have the capability here. Hammer, you can bring up a college player or continue on this, whatever you want. What's up?
It was just like two that were big with like Sammy Watkins out of Clemson that never like panned out, and I remember watching Tavon Austin at West Virginia, and I thought he could do something, but again that never worked out. I mean, I guess we're talking
Sammy
about
was a big one.
Yeah, Sammy played a little longer than what the players were kind of talking about, but to the same degree, like he literally did nothing while he played. So like he never was like, he was supposed to be really good. I remember Sammy Watkins was either going to be top 5 or nothing, and he was nothing. He could have been top 5.
Like Isaiah Simmons, who went to the Cardinals out of Clemson. He was a freak on the defensive side of the ball. The guy could literally play all 3 levels, and the Cardinals just ruined him.
Yeah, Cardinals have ruined a lot of players. Beanie Wells, whether it's their fault or not, it doesn't matter. Like you go there, you just get cooked. And but I don't think that about Jeremiah Love.
Scadaboo, like for current, it's like again, like he's a madman, but at least he was. I mean, is it sustainable? No, but Scadaboo is productive, and I've seen like again, you've never seen Brooks in the NFL. Like, and I know I come on here and I feel like people just think I hate Brooks. I just hate that it's a hype and a thing. That's what I don't like. It's like my team. I don't have anything against Brooks. It's just very much like real that. Yeah,
it's also
I don't have.
It's also because people are holding him still. A lot of people have just been holding Brooks. Large group that wants it to happen too. So, like, I like Brooks. I think he can be good. I think you get a lot of that hype push from those people too.
And you
want it to happen.
And just
he was supposed to be that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that all three or any of these guys or even one of them are gonna fall the way of what we're talking about. The never was not barely lingered or was less good than people thought. We're talking about like something happens and never was. And Bucky's also a potential, like if let's say he goes out and his shoulders mangled or something, and then he just never comes back. And then he has mentally they were worried about him being depressed because he was out of football. Like these three probably are the most likely running backs to, but you also have to understand, I'm not suggesting that they're going to be never was. There's just a little level of risk where there's massive injury that a hurdle that could get in their way of never rising back up. But I do think Bucky will work out. I do think Brooks will work out. I think Scat will work out for a while, but it will be a short career. But these are definitely players that hold. Yeah, Trey Benson. But what was he ever like?
Jalen Rager.
He's never even been a thing. He's been a thing, but he's never been a thing.
I guess he was a big name though, but was he big enough to qualify here? I don't know.
But he never quite got there.
Yeah. Nikhil Harry.
Rager.
Nikhil Harry was one of them. I love Nikhil Harry too. Jalen Rager. I never liked Rager though.
No.
I never believed
it. Jefferson.
How about Justin Blackman?
Yeah.
The
Treadwell,
Oklahoma
Blackman.
State. Sorry, Smitty. I didn't mean to cut in.
No, Treadwell and Blackman. Treadwell and Blackman were both.
Was Blackman? Was it Oklahoma State? Right? Wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. He got cut off all his drugs, but yeah, I thought for sure he was going to be a sure thing.
The thing with Blackman, it wasn't, which is, I don't know, it's going to sound crazy, but it was alcohol. He couldn't. It wasn't drugs.
Oh, yeah. It was a mixture, right?
It's kind of weird because it's not like alcohol.
All right,
but that was his.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that on here, but okay.
I'm just saying.
And then another one I was thinking is Broncos fan, but Capri Bibbs, undrafted guy. He was pretty good for running back. Pretty good for a year or so.
Well, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, but we'll see. Does anybody on here feel like Scadaboo is heading? Like, what are the odds Scadaboo heads in this direction that we're talking about? The player that never was. Meaning he gets injured badly this year, doesn't end up doing anything. We're not talking about plays 3 years. Not talking about plays 2 years, really good. I'm talking about never was. Something happens. This guy goes out there, plays good for 4 games, boom, and then he never was. Roland, I'm about to put you in timeout. About to put you in timeout. Corey Dillon? What in the hell are you talking about?
Corey Dillon. What?
What, Travis?
Did he win a Super Bowl?
What about that idiot out of Green Bay? What was it? That Matthew Golden? That burned people hyping him up.
He's still burning out, though. That candle's still lit. The candle's still lit.
I mean, the amount that people talk about that guy, it's almost like I say relevant.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I think like I would say like I would say 80% scat boost, 75-80%. Like if he goes out, has 3-4 games here, blows out his knee, he could be one of those guys you talk.
I'm not asking. I'm saying, what are the odds that he will be the guy that you say is?
Sorry.
I think 20%. 20%.
I'd say 35%. 35.
He's a risk right now, man. I don't know. I think that's a good number. I mean, there's still a 70, 75%, 65% chance that he plays 3 good years. But there is I would say it's a good number, 20 to 25% at least, that he could screw everyone. he really could. We'll see.
Well, if he keeps doing backflips, then I don't even know what that event was, but that backflip was crazy.
Yeah. All right, boys. DJ, any final thoughts?
First of all, just rounding that out.
Hammer dropped an extender.
Sorry.
Hold on, Hammer dropped an extender. That's 6 minutes on the board.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super
But
chat.
we'll still circle around and close out since we got a lot of people on the phone line. It'll take a minute. Go ahead, DJ, with your final thoughts.
Yeah, just Stribling in San Francisco. I don't know what his impact will be on this year, and I guess I'm speaking to Dynasty. They did draft him pretty high, but then they also drafted Blackman, which then also makes me wonder what they may be doing there in San Francisco. I've always been under the impression that AP was the mastermind behind that organization, as opposed to I don't know what.
Hold on one second. Mute yourself. Be right with you.
As well as the running back. So we'll see, but I don't know that he'll be productive. Is what we might think, going in. But other than that, best show on the planet, Smitty.
Thank you, DJ.
Latest squad.
Yeah, Galladay's another good one. That's a good one. Claret, we said that one already. Galladay. Roland says I was answering someone else's question. Okay, my bad. But Roland, you have been throwing out names like that. We're like a player that never was, and you're like, you've said names like that consistently. You're like, but what about David Johnson? Like, David Johnson was a fantastic player. He's short-lived, but he was unbelievable. All right, is this Double A?
Yes, sir.
Double A, you're live.
The original.
What's up, my guy? We got about 4 minutes left, so I'm gonna be quick with everyone. So a minute or so. Go ahead. You're live, young man. Go ahead. Then over to.
I threw a little super chat up here. I want to pick your brain really quick, if I could. I'll just see if you could pick 2 guys for me.
Okay, definitely. And Chuck Nasty, 10-man PPR, Herbert, HN, ETN, St. Brown, Rice, Tootin, Devontae Adams, MHA, and the bench thoughts. Like the team, bro. ETN, St. Brown, Rice. Yeah, very, very good team. Very balanced team. Luck that team, Chuck Nasty. That's fantastic, bro. Thank you for that super chat.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but you can answer.
Yeah. I'll come back to that real quickly. Double A says 4th round Pickens, 6th Igbuka, 8th round Warren, 16th round Christian Watson, Parker Washington, 15th. Can you pick 2 for me? 0.5 PPR. Pickens in the 4, I can't pass on that. Igbuka in the 6, I can't pass on that. But then you throw Tyler Warren in. I like Christian Watson a lot, but I know it's good in the 16th round, but I'm still not. I feel like I can still grab guys that can contribute and be so good, like Michael Wilson in round 7 or 8, or DK in 7, that I'm not. The Christian Watson one's not moving the needle. Either is Parker Washington, even though those are good values, of course. You could just draft them back. It won't be as good a value, but you could still draft them back pretty easily. Pickens, so it comes out of Pickens, Igbuka, and Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren in the 8th round is pretty good, but because Okonkwo's there in round 10, 9, whatever, I would still say give me Igbuka and Pickens, and I walk out with having 2 potential top 10 wide receivers in round 4 and round 6, right? So you have a pick 1, 2, and 3 overall where you could draft running backs, whatever. That's my final answer. I think that's a great.
Yeah, actually, I have the first pick, so I'm kind of looking at maybe a Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah,
and then I'll throw this and I'll let you run. any chance we wait late and look at Goddard's way instead of Warren, just picking him really late?
I mean, I definitely draft Goddard, but looking at Goddard over Warren, no. But when I don't get Warren,
skip Warren. So if you just keep Pickens in the Mecca is what I figured you might say.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, definitely Okonkwo is my favorite, but Okonkwo, Goddard, grab two of those guys instead of Warren here. Even though I love Warren, I love it, but I love Pickens and Igbuka more. And those are such good
Thanks
value.
as always, brother. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Hey, Double A, call in anytime. Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Rock out. Final thoughts.
What happened to Edwards-Helaire in his career?
I mean, like we talked about earlier, the Chiefs just misused him. You know, he also had some mental issues too that contributed to like them not being able to put him out there. So maybe more of that was we didn't know about, even more that happened. But definitely was a really, really good player. You know what always shocked me is that Burrow didn't push to get him on the roster when he was a free agent and when he was available in trade. I'm like, Burrow's going to do something here. Burrow never tried to get him on the roster. At least we didn't hear anything about it. And when he was a free agent, Burrow didn't even push for it. It's wild to me. Lattimore, that's another one. But yeah, Clyde, man. Clyde's fantastic.
Go way back, Marcus Dupree. Remember him?
Yeah.
Way back in like
Yeah.
the 80s.
Okay, rock out. Appreciate you, bro.
What about McFadden?
Yeah.
Does he get to be one of? I mean, he played
a little
like
more.
8 or 9 years.
Yeah. I think he's
people
more
thought
like
he
the
was
Watkins.
amazing.
I think he's more like a Hammers Watkins
Yeah.
example, where it's like that's a little out of the context of what we're saying, but like you could certainly say that if we were to pull in players that played that still never did anything, they would certainly apply. Hammer, your final thoughts?
I was gonna,
he.
Well, I was just gonna say Hammer actually was asking a question in his last super chat. I think. We hit that.
Yeah, he just left, so I don't know. Hammer,
Oh.
get back on the line, my man. You have a super chat here. I don't know why he bailed. Maybe he couldn't hear. Sometimes the phone line's quirky. But his question was, at least if I don't know if he's calling back, interested on next year's draft, Smith and then top QBs. Yeah, we can pull up the quarterbacks. Call back, Hammer. I think we have 5 more minutes with that one then. Here, I'll put 5 more on Hammer for this topic. Chuck Nasty, real quickly.
Oh, I was just going to say that super chat, I wanted to get a double A for that super chat I sent you. Any moves that you would do with that 10-man? Or I think that's a pretty good team.
I definitely like the squad. I guess no moves come to mind because I don't want you to get rid of anything other than maybe MHJ to upgrade Herbert, MHJ to upgrade ETN. That's the only thing I look at.
Yeah, and then that I don't know if you remember that trade yesterday. I had after the draft, Herbert. I guess I want Josh Allen, and the guy countered this morning and said he'll give me Josh Allen for Herbert and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I mean in a super flex.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Just 10-man, just regular PPR.
Yeah, and 10-man I would because 10-man you can afford to give up a lot. I do that. Sure.
Yeah.
And then
10-man's
one
different.
last player here, and then I'll get out of here, is I don't know if you remember because this is a while ago, but Javed Best.
Yeah, Java Best.
The Lions.
Him and
Yeah.
Abdullah both.
Yeah.
Great, yeah, Best.
Yeah, Fair Abdullah, yeah.
Best had a lot of talent. And then also Wilson from New York. David Wilson, I think it was. All right, thanks, Chuck Nasty. We'll see you later, bro.
All right, thanks, mate. See you.
All right, Hammer, call back. I don't know where Hammer went. Quarterback class for 2026. Or 26-7.
It's crazy. Like I know Hammer loves Lenore Sellers, and like if he can show just a little jump in his passing ability, which I think he will, he could be a top, 5 pick. Everyone says Moore versus Manning, but you could literally find at least 6 or 7 names. You know, Mestamaker is flying up the board, CJ Carr, Sorsby, Chambliss. I mean, there's so many guys.
Yeah. So Dante Moore, Arch Manning. Yeah, I wonder if Sorsby's going to fit into this.
That's why I'm not so sure he's going to go in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if a lot of these guys fall off, but
he's ranking
because
kind of around 5.
Yeah, like that's what I see, 5, 6.
Who's your one though? Who's your one? I kind of still feel like Arch Manning could be, but we'll have to see how this year plays out. But
right, like it's really hard to like say who my one is. I mean, I think it's probably going to be between Moore, Manning. I think Mestamaker could make a big jump. I mean, CJ Carr is interesting. I don't know.
Hammer, where you at?
Quite the ceiling, but
where the hell did Hammer go?
Doesn't run much.
That's his topic. Hammer, call in. I'll reset the 5 minutes, but you gotta be up. We gotta hammer through the quarterbacks, and we want to hear your take on your QB ranks here. What about running back?
Oh, go ahead.
Running back between Lacey. Who's
my number one is Jaden Baugh. I know that's not popular, but Lacey, Hardy, Frazier,
Fletcher.
Some people say Fletcher.
Yeah, Hardy, Frazier, Fletcher. Those are kind of the top 3, and then Baugh and then Lacey are.
I really like LJ Martin from BYU because he's big and he's really good in the pass game already. The other guys are, there's some smaller guys. Well, I mean, Raleigh Brown. People talk about him. Hollywood Smothers is going to be up there just because he has a name, Hollywood. Let's see what he can do. But yeah, I mean, I love Jaden, but I think Baugh and Lacey, those are my top 2. But see what Harvey Frazier can do.
Yeah. If I had to, I guess, rank the running backs, let me put them on this board here. Wide receivers are going to be tougher.
Yeah. I mean, the top 2 for now are obvious with Smith and Coleman, but there's a lot of guys.
Running backs, I'm probably going to say, let's see here. Let me get rid of these guys that are on the screen. So RBs 2027. I don't know if I agree that Hardy's the consensus guy. Plus, we got to see how he is. I know he's supposed to be healthy from the wound, but Hardy, Frazier, I kind of feel like I like Fletcher, but is he fast enough? I don't know if he is. He kind of reminds me of like Najee Harris. That worries me.
I think right now, mine would be Jaden Baugh, Lacey, Frazier, then Hardy. And I have LJ Martin right in there too. But.
All right. So I'll go. What's your ranking?
Jaden Baugh, Juwan Lacey, Frazier and Hardy, and then LJ Martin would be my 5.
That's Travis. I think I'm gonna go. Man, I like Lacey but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like him a lot.
It's so tough. I'd almost say Lacey's my 1, Frazier's my 2, Hardy's my 3, Ball's 4 or 5. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'd do it now. As far as receiver's hard to do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we know the number 1. I think the number 2 probably right now has to be King Coleman.
Yeah.
After that, though, it's like I love Nick Marsh. I think it's Michigan State. Ryan Wingo. Then Ryan Williams. Everyone said, "Oh, he's going to be the guy," but he hasn't lived up to it.
Coleman Williams. Yeah.
Bama.
Ryan Coleman Williams. Yeah, I think he probably would be someone that could climb into the 3 spot. I don't know.
Yep.
All right, I guess Hammer's not coming back, so
There's a couple.
We'll
A couple of huge guys too.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, Travis, see you tomorrow. Everybody, thank you for extending the show. You guys rock. You appreciate you all. Anything else, Travis?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. Guys, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks. Blitzen, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, my boy. I'll see you all later. Thanks for all the extenders and keeping the show rolling. Get on over to the Patreon. The link is at the top right corner, but it's also in the description of the video. Patreon.com/The Fantasy Football Show. That's my live chat group. And then don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com, which is my content site. We did 3 shows today. If you missed out on either of the other 2 shows, go watch that. This is thefantasyfootballshow.com. Content, rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, you name it. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com and get your rankings on. I'll be back tomorrow, but if you missed any of the 3 shows today, go rewatch them. See you all tomorrow. Thanks for the super chats. Thank you, Hammer, for the extenders. Hammer. 3 extenders. Appreciate those tonight, my boy. Dropping those. Thank you to Double A, to Chuck Nasty, to Jonathan, to Pickleback, to July, to Kit, KJO. Appreciate you guys all dropping those super chats. See you all tomorrow.